Listen up, IOTA holders, because there's been some pretty big news coming out of the IOTA Foundation recently. If you've been paying attention at all, you might have heard of something called Qubic. So this is something that I think may catapult IOTA to the top 3 coins as promised by one of their co-founders. In this video, I'm going to explain what the Qubic protocol is, how it ties into IOTA, and what this means for you as an IOTA investor. All of this coming right up. Hey everyone, this is Kevin from Bitcoin for Beginners, and I'm really excited to share this video with you today because I'm a big fan of IOTA and think it has massive potential. But before we dive into the content, I just want to say that I spent a lot of time creating this for you, so if you don't mind smashing that like button and leaving me comments down below, I'll definitely take a look and get back to you. Okay, so now on to the juicy content. So let's just get this out of the way. First of all, Qubic is not a new coin or token, and there will not be an ICO or airdrop. So I know some of you guys are wondering that immediately. Shame on you for doing so. Now, if you've been following around the IOTA circles for a while now, you may have heard of something called Q. This is something with a lot of secrecy around it and pretty mysterious. As you can see in Slack, one of the co-founders, Come From Beyond, mentions Q, and this was from like a few months ago. And this was a secret project worked on by the IOTA Foundation, along with all their other initiatives going on, of course. It was first mentioned in the Bitcoin talk threads by Come From Beyond in 2012, so it has been in the pipeline for a long time now. And back then, what it was kind of going for is a quorum-based coin, or QBC. And how that kind of evolved was it turned into 2 separate projects. First is IOTA, and then now the Qubic protocol. And those come together to fit the initial vision of what was the quorum-based coin. So this Qubic protocol was officially announced on June 3rd, 2018, so not too long ago from when this video is being shot, actually. And that's why I want to kind of walk through what all was announced and what this project is. So just a quick recap, if you want to remember IOTA, it's a protocol for machines to kind of communicate with each other in the Internet of Things. But of course, we can use it too, by sending each other IOTAs for like micropayments, for example. And it uses the Tangle, or Directed Acyclic Graph, or DAG, instead of blockchain. So that's one pretty new innovation in the world of distributed ledger technology. And how it works is that you have to confirm 2 prior transactions by doing a tiny bit of proof of work before sending your own transaction to the network. By doing so, everyone maintains the Tangle in parallel rather than sequentially placing blocks and transactions in a blockchain. Some of the benefits of this approach is 1, 0 transaction fees, 2, the network scales with the number of users, and 3, no miners needed because all you're doing is a small proof of work for spam protection purposes. So how does Qubic fit into all of this? It's a protocol layer on top of IOTA that uses IOTA for messaging and payments between different machines and nodes, for example. Qubic makes IOTA programmable, if you want to think about it that way, because IOTA was just a cryptocurrency. But now Qubic will allow you to bring data from the outside world onto the Tangle. Different IoT devices, like maybe your refrigerator or smart coffee maker or smart cars, can split up different computing tasks and do a lot more powerful and interesting things. Furthermore, it will allow smart contracts, which is huge because everyone was talking about that one of IOTA's shortcomings was that it doesn't allow smart contracts. Well, now it does. And also it'll bring a rewards and incentive system for participants in this network. What are the main features? Well, first, everything is based on a Qubic, which is short for quorum-based computation. And you can do more reading into this, but basically a quorum has to do with taking a vote. So like if you have a computation and you're trying to figure out the results, you can have different entities evaluate it and vote on which one is right and which one to present to the rest of the network. So you'll have oracles that will get data from the outside world, and these can form assemblies. Basically, the idea is that you combine different oracles and they all share their findings. So you have trust in numbers rather than just relying on one. And that's where the whole voting part comes in too. Secondly, you can do outsourced computations. So when it's too tough for a single device to do a computation, it can relay the message to other devices in the network and get them to kind of do the computation for them and share the combined result in return for some IOTA. There will also be smart contracts, which are just kind of generalized forms of Qubics. They're pretty much similar things if you think about it, quorum-based computations and smart contracts. These sit on the Tangle via IOTA transaction metadata. I'm not going to go into too much detail about it, but they do talk a lot more about this on the Qubic landing page on the IOTA website. And special nodes can process these for rewards. And these are also written in a brand new language called Abra, and this is built for trinary instead of our usual binary languages. So what are some possible use cases to kind of help wrap our minds around this Qubic protocol? Well, I got this snapshot when doing research on Reddit, but this user called AlibUser kind of was doing some brainstorming about how Qubic and IOTA can revolutionize smart cities, for example, and help them self-optimize. So if there's a lot of sensors, smart devices, smart cars going around, there can be oracles that kind of get data from these different sensors, and then optimization Qubics that take these data and kind of do like traffic optimization, then feed them to different devices that can help with traffic optimization. So all this can be done with different Qubics and just with using all of the Qubic protocol's main features like outsourced computations, oracles, smart contracts, etc. So what does this mean for IOTA? Well, its scope just enlarged big time. This happens all with one update instead of multiple separate updates like we originally thought. And it's now able to take on our smart contracts platforms like Ethereum, Neo, EOS, and other projects involving oracles, distributed computing. It's really just have a massive scope now, doing things with a new approach than the other ones. Another thing that many of you guys have been asking is when will we remove the coordinator, which is a source of contention because of its centralization aspect. Well, now Qubic makes this a tamper-proof distributed system, so when this is done, we won't need the coordinator anymore. And this is why Come From Beyond was kind of semi-trolling like he always does when he says that IOTA will be instant top 3 when Qubic protocol is announced. Well, it didn't go top 3, but I think that if the team can deliver, it definitely has massive potential because it encompasses so many different things that all these other projects are trying to do. And so this should definitely get you excited if you're an IOTA investor, and has me wanting to buy some more too during this heavy bear market. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please smash that like button and leave me a comment below with your thoughts as well. And if you have some time, please check out some of the other videos by clicking on the links above. See you guys later.